Hi. Yes, I'm here. I was adding settings to it, so it was taking a bit longer than I expected. How are we all? Have we hit a wall? I keep getting inboxes, Yildiz, I don't like this energy. No, I'm with you there. I had hermit last. We're just going to go with the flow. Hi, Giggle. I've got to add Dario. I tried to look at the settings on it, and it's like, I'm telling you, this retrograde be really... Man, I'm sorry, Mars. We're having a bit of conflict right now. Yeah, him and I, we're just not gelling. He probably feels the same as me, is that, like, he wants to go forward, and we be all getting stuck backwards. And I'm just like, Mars? Yeah, no. Mercury? Hi, Jenny. Hi, Dari. I haven't added it yet. I'll have to do it after. I've been, like, just trying to do 100 things. So, yes, the purging has been... I don't know if it's purging. I think it's the paranoia. I think it's the paranoia, like, really. I mean, look, okay, sensor warning. What the fuck? You know, where you get to the stage, you're thinking, okay, let's just have a look at this here. What is it supposed to bloody mean? Now, do tell me if the screen goes funny, because I'm further away from the Wi-Fi, so, you know, it may have some interference. Yay. Well, I am still trying to connect the settings, so, yes. It is, like, the live feeds, I tried to do them... So is it mucking up, or is it coming through clearly? Do I need to move? Hi, Terry. You had a tiny tower moment. I think we're all having bloody... If you'd seen me last night, I had certain elements going on, and I was like, I'm usually very pretty cool and collected, and there was the blasphemy coming out, and are you fucking joking? And I was like, and people around me that were talking to me are like, it's okay, Yildiz. And it's like, yeah, until you're in the retrograde. And then all of a sudden this morning, everyone's calling me. Yeah. I mean, people that don't even know. Yeah, I read it. That's why I come on, Stefan. See, I'm up here for you, Stefan. It wasn't just one person, it's been many. And even people that aren't so really aware of the planetary alignments and you know, all the rest of it, they're like, what is going on? And it's retrograde, and we'd love to blame it on that, but you know, is it really retrograde, or are we just not handling the challenges so well these days? Because someone said to me, I do find it incredibly, and I shouldn't even be laughing, but I'm telling you, we will laugh at some point. We're going to laugh about this moment, because this too shall pass. And then we'll get to a stage where we'll be like, okay, you know, usually to move into an energy, we have some tower moments. And I had a few this morning, and I was looking at it going, a shop order that was placed, you know, through my website. The person had 1 or 2 delays. Then the money, they'd put a PayPal claim in, but they did receive the order, but the money was taken regardless, because Stripes and PayPal, they probably don't work for either of us, really. And it is retrograde. So I had that, and then it was altering the website. I've put bookings up at a reduced fee. For those of you who are just at that point, you can't afford it. It's up for 3 days. So go and have a look. It is reduced in price, and then that way, those of us who are getting to the stage, and, you know, I don't want to just focus on twins. I mean, collective energy, we are up shit creek without a paddle, but we do have the paddle, okay? What we're being asked is, not are we on the right path? Because I had left or right, and I was thinking to myself, I woke up this morning, and you know those moments you're looking at the ceiling and you're going, does it have to be so bloody hard? Because in a retrograde, it'll be the most minute little things, and you're just like, it's just that, it's like a haystack effect, okay? So it's just one thing after another, and it can be the smallest thing, and it's that last straw, and you're just like, and I'm looking at universe, and I'll be like, you're fucking with me. You're really fucking with me. It was silly things. I had a message from my mother, and I gave her my car, and I'm thinking, universe, seriously, I'd be paying shit forward all my life. I want to know what's going on. She tried to sell the car I gave her free of charge, which I thought was quite funny, because like I gave her that car free of charge. And anyway, so she's tried to sell it, and I've had a phone call, and they've gone, there's money owing on it. And I'm like, I've paid that years ago. She's going, no. Of course, the problem falls on a weekend. You can't contact any financial institution on a weekend. So it's not even my problem theoretically. But in the initial stages, you're like, I fucking paid it. But we're in retrograde, and this is what happens. It's those little conflicts that really, it's that little seed. It's a bit like a seed in the side of you, and you're going, yeah, you're irritating me, but now you're pissing me off, okay? So it was a collective of things. And to the point this morning I woke up and I was looking at the roof and I was going, PayPal, Stripes, retrograde. And I was like, maybe it'd be easier to do a different job. And I was like, look, whatever we're doing, it doesn't matter what you're doing, because it's going to be hard. Whether you're in Rome, you're in Africa, we're in retrograde, okay? Nothing we can do is going to stop us from feeling this energy. Last night, I went and had, everything was coming up on me, and I was like, right, get your ass in that bath. I have my bath salts, and it was like a bomb shelter, and I'm like, I'm just going to be sitting here clearing this negative energy, and I'm just going to just row right through it, okay? So it may be that you get to the stage you go, okay, what is in my control? What isn't in my control? What can I do to deal with it? And how you directly deal with it is changing, okay? So you'll see this year to be quite arduous, and it does get to the point you're going, is there... I mean, I listened to another reader the other day, and she is very eccentric. And I mean, aren't we all? And I'm listening away to her, and she's like, look, quite frankly, you know, I really have done all this purging, and I just don't know what all this shit is. Like, quite frankly, there's no purpose. And I was like, nothing ever doesn't not have a purpose, but I loved the attitude in which she was coming through, because many of us have done this purging. It's shit we've dealt with before. So then we have to ask ourselves the question, okay, so if theoretically a lot of this crap is old residue stuff that we truthfully have dealt with, much of it, then what does it serve? Why is it here? What is going on? As I have a drink, because look, this is my brekkie. I haven't even had my brekkie. So, what does it serve? Food for thought. Have you ever thought that as we change, but we really don't notice why we've changed? It's sort of a gradual process. We're in it, we're changing, and then people are a bit confused and they're like, you don't usually react that way. I don't quite understand. But then because it's happening gradually, you actually don't realize you're changing. This, however, on this occasion, is to the point where universe wants you to be more self-aware. So when it's happening, yes, some of the planets are asking us to look back over 8 years ago. Others of it is childhood. It's in every area of our life. Strict planets. It's like, right, have a look at your work. What are you doing in your work life that really isn't working? And it's not you can't have it. It's how can you reapply your energy to the situation so you can get the best out of it? Do you feel on a scale? Because really that's what we're dealing with this year. We've got the scales. This is your work life. Now, how valuable do you find that? Are you placing so much energy in and getting fuck all out? Are you placing a lack of energy in and getting too much out? It's balancing. We're balancing these energies. It could be that you are working a 9-to-5 job, yet you would rather work a 24-hour job and get more fulfillment out of it. And I mean, that's an extreme. But you're being asked the questions. Where is your ceiling? Okay, Matthew McConaughey, he did. Go and Google it. I have put it on my psychic page on Facebook. I'll try and put the link under here. And it was, you know, all of us have this profound aspect inside ourselves. You know, break the glass ceiling. Most of the restraints are not retrograde. Retrograde is just showing you where you have placed those mental restraints. So are you going to fall into the ego of saying, I can't accomplish that because it's too hard. I can't accomplish that because it's triggering me. It's making us more aware of our mindset. So our mindset and the conditioning is being purged. It's actually not the aspects. It's the conditioning we have of self that is being purged. And it's just doing it on a very fucking grand scale, might I add. So, you know, the way you look at your job, it might be that you feel walking through society, you have to have a traditional job. Okay? It may be that you get to a point that you would rather have a part-time job and do community work. You've got to find, it's like Tesla's equation. You need to find what fits your life. Okay? You got a new Android. Then when it comes to your relationships, and the funny thing is, like, most of these retrogrades have been going over our old wounds, have been going over our jobs, our family-related dynamics, our finances, where our boundaries are with our friendships, our partners, our family members, our co-workers, what our opinion of ourselves is. And we are always 20 times harder on ourselves than other people are. Although, like I suggested in the other video, putting a label on both feet and saying, okay, whose shoes am I walking in? Am I walking in, you know, society's shoes? Am I walking in mother, father's shoes and trying to fill their expectations? Or am I actually, it's actually, this year's making you more aware of self. That's what it's doing. Okay. So it's asking you, no, it has not been serving you. What has been serving you? Some of those attitudes you've collected. You know, have you been walking in your parents' attitudes? Yeah, it's not to say or disrespect that, you know, their attitudes were incorrect. It's more, okay, is that your value system now? Or is that more, your reading's so interesting, so like, honestly, it was like, I've even been reluctant to send it to you. I'm like, I don't know, that was a very mixed up reading, lady. Scylla's very, very interesting. She should really have her own channel, theoretically. Okay, so, you know, with all these planets, they're asking you to be mindful of self because you have changed, but you haven't paid attention because you've been so busy doing the work that you haven't actually stopped and gone back inside yourself and said, is this who I am anymore? Is this job for me anymore? Do I believe in myself enough? Do I have any spiritual blocks when it comes to that in an ego sense? Can I achieve that? Am I listening to my higher self when it comes to the way in which I'm acting towards people? I know with the work that I've been doing with particular individuals in my personal life, the way in which my life is flowing, I'm much more controlled when it comes to setting boundaries. And it's not in a get the fuck away kind of attitude. It's very much in a you be self-aware and create those boundaries and speak your truth. So it may be that, you know, you don't feel comfortable with doing something. And, you know, the word no, I mean, so many of us do not like that word. And it's something that we really do need to learn. It's not a dirty word. If you say yes when you really mean no, you're going ahead and you're operating from another person's needs. Okay. And that's not going to work. It will impact you emotionally, physically, sometimes financially. So the anger that we have in some shapes or forms can very much be connected to how we're feeling about situations. Now, on a twin flame journey as well, very separate to retrograde, and that's just one area I'll cover. Many of you are thinking, how do I put it? Okay, mission. If you find you've had this grand plan, and this is only for some of you, okay, not everyone's like this, that you had a grand plan that you wanted to have together, this year is asking you to assess you. Assess you, okay? Not what beautiful, you can manifest that, you can paint it will come, build it, and they will come. And that's what you've been asked to do, build you, and it will come. You know, if you are at that correct, and it's such a cliche, if you're at a correct frequency, you know, when you're in that, you're like, the one thing in Twin Flame Collective I will say, the word patient. If a twin has that, they'll be sitting behind the computer go, fuck that, nah. Okay, I know. The word patient, the word aligned, purging, mirroring, that you need to get, it's like, sometimes we need to simplify it. And again, you know, I have seen on YouTube some people actually saying, you know, why aren't readers actually doing the energy from the feminine's point of view, which is relevant actually, because a runner can be on either side. A runner really can. And I mean, we could literally do the energy of runner chaser, but a lot of the first wavers are really out of that equation now. So the energy very much has changed. So the readings really need to change because that dynamic has changed. And this year, be it you're a twin or you're not a twin, a lot of us are spiritually getting to a point where this is an assessment. We're at the exam right now. We're at that exam and we're being asked what we want. What do you want? Do you want your twin? Do you want you? I mean, you can't have your twin without having you. If you're not home and you're still coming from a place of codependency, and it sounds sucky, yeah, well, that's what I'm saying, Sarah. Most of the first wavers are actually not chasers anymore. Yeah, okay. But look, it's not wrong. It's not that you don't have dreams and want to be with your twin. Don't get me wrong. And again, has been the time frame of which I've had where I've really haven't had the time frame due to retrograde. So it's like you're swimming up a hill, you know, trying to get these videos done. But when I do get that time, I will actually do these videos. So when you're looking at the journey, we do forget ourselves. First wavers are coming to a place where, yes, 100%, you may not be chasing, but many of you is like, I want my fucking twin. That hasn't changed. Do you know what I mean? The frustrating point is, and the reason why you're feeling so pulled back, is you're really being tested. You're being tested to a point of, can you step through that adversity? Can you move through your mountains that you've built, your walls you've built in your life, not connected to the twin flame, in your life? Because if your life's not balanced, by the time they come in, if your workload hasn't been balanced, if your job hasn't been balanced, if your finances haven't been, you're going to have that energy at a toxic level on top of your twin flame journey, okay? So your dreams may have been built with your twin previously or now, however it relates. But if you can't, and it's not to say you're going to get into this connection perfect, okay? Yeah, so doing your energy work, that's your, so if, and never get to a point when they're saying, you're not aligned and that's why you're not with your twin. Yes and no. I mean, divine timing comes into play, but also, how do I put it? That person spiritually has to get to the point where they've dealt with their demons and they're not running, okay? Until they can do that, it's not going to be equal. So one really has to set the trend of not doing that and not partaking in it where it's not a game, but the work will have to be done. What's cracking you up? You feel like you're going to explode. I don't, look, come on, Stefan, do you seriously think if we hid under a rock that shit would work? We're still feeling that vibration. Do you want to see the cat? Oh, she tried to climb in the bath with me last night. See, even the cat was purging. funny, actually. I read an article that jumped up on my feed, and it was talking about the fact that the ones that are reaching closest to union will get to a stage where the synchronicities will reduce. Now, number-wise, it will reduce. It'll drop down to just 111. Just food for thought. Yes, I do have a habit. I mean, hey, use me as a guinea pig, because they say that unless you purge your habits, you know, you don't reach union. Well, yes, I do want to quit, and yes, it is coming, but I have a multitude of things, and when I'm ready, I'll go cold turkey. Yeah, the 144 I have seen, and I still do keep seeing. But, you know, it might be because you get to a point where you're just paying so much attention onto yourself. You see it, but you don't. You're sort of like, yeah, and you're just doing the work in you. Well done. High five. I think my DM is trying to make someone jealous. Can be insecurity as well. If they're liking your posts, it may be in intimidation, like they're feeling intimidated that perhaps somebody else is watching you. The world works in mysterious places. Very fucked up, weird place. Is it? Oh, look, the energy's not too bad here. I think 2 days ago, I was sitting there and I was like, there is a very, look, although there is the external triggers, that's all that's really affecting me, the frustration, because I'm on mission mode. I'm like, I want things done. That's the frustration. The internal, I'm all good. I'm like, I'm fine. I've released. I'm living my life. I'm focused on anything. I'm happy. I'm excited. I'm getting back into my sassy energy that I used to have, which is really nice. Yeah, it's so for me, where I am in my journey has nothing to do with like twin energy. It's I collect it now and then, but it's more receptive, I feel, and can sense what they're going through. But as for me, I'm just very focused on, hey. Your upstairs neighbour's bowling. Go join them. Now, Stefan, don't feel that you've done the wrong thing, but if you're running, you need to ask yourself why. I'll say that, okay? If you feel you're running, tune into that. Yeah, but it's not really 6 steps back. 6 steps in a reflective way, but again, it is okay, when we talk about alignment, right? I was at my mother's house for, this was during a recession. Ended up losing my house, and I moved into my mother's temporarily. I put my things in storage, and for me, being a big girl, especially a divine feminine, I don't do things like that. So for that to happen, it was necessary, right? Universally guided, moved in there, broke up with the twins, so I've moved in back with my mother. Then the whole family came, okay? And when you're placed in situations, at the time, it physically feels like torment. It's like, why is the universe punishing me? Why is God punishing me? Oh my God, you need to get your shit together. And you're in that energy and you're angry. You're so angry because we need control. We feel we need control, but we actually have no control apart from our own domain. So for a while I was in victim mode, granted, and you know, I was like, oh, I jumped out of the care industry and I'd started working in a factory, and I did very well actually. I got to a point where I was almost running one half of the factory and staff members, and they were very surprised. They were like, how is a carer able to manage a factory and staff members? Got my forklift, reach truck ticket, all the rest of it, but there was jealousy. So it was divinely guided, and then I ended up moving in with my mother, and I thought, oh, I'm going to have to go back to nursing. And I was reluctant and I paused, and I remember applying for so many different jobs just to get back into that same field. Then I had to bite my pride, and it was like, go back to nursing. And I did take a job during a recession that was paying very poor money, right? And I got myself, I started getting ahead. It was like, okay, bite the bullet. What change do we need to do? I can guarantee you it was during a fucking retrograde. So I made the hard call. And the thing is, where can we make the hard call right now? Now, I was stuck at that house, believing that the roof was closed, believing that the doors were all closed, and anything I was doing, I was blocked. Sometimes it's not that you're in the wrong place. Sometimes it's not that you're being punished. Sometimes it's about divine timing, because the magic thing is, what I ended up with in the end was a job, fantastic managers, a very balanced life where I had my daughter in daycare, you know, my job flowing. I ended up getting a house well below the price. I think it was something like $275 a week. This is Australian dollars, in a very lavish suburb that was over $1,000 to $2,000 a week rent. And it was right near the water. So divine timing, truly trust that. Generally speaking, it's not that you haven't done the purging. It's not that that you're doing something wrong. You're too far ahead. So they're slowing you down so that door can align correctly for you to move through it, okay? So, yeah, just trust in that. It was a wonderful house. It was very quiet. It felt very nurturing and safe. It helped me do a lot of spiritual healing. I did, yeah, so trust in that process. But it may be that you're blocking yourself from your full potential, and that's why you're being in your mind, feeling punished, is because you're not looking at your potential. In a twin flame journey, very separate to retrograde, it's about who you are, not about not about, you know, what you can and can't achieve, but within the connection, it's what can you achieve? What are your mindsets? What are your conditionings? Because you need to move it to a point where you can move beyond that. And sometimes we're meant for greatness, but we're just not spiritually feeling or seeing it. Does that make sense? It's not a punishment. It feels like a punishment. It's not. So, what else are we feeling? Well, on that note, I have had a download. Between now and next month, what you will experience is assessments and universe shoving you to a point where what you've put on hold in your life, not twin, on your life, be it a business venture, be it a job, be it money, tying up loose ends with family members, friends, setting a new intention, which the Lionsgate portal is going to work wonders for that. And I do have a booking. Somebody has booked for the Lionsgate portal, so I will get that video done. I'll try and get that done today. What you will find is the movement forward is going to come through you placing direct action. Now, twin aside, you in your life placing direct action into those areas. Now, if you're finding you can't at the moment, it's because it's retrograde. It will be a slingshot effect. Yes, I know. I totally feel it. It's like I've got so many ideas to even get them done, get them uploaded. I get hundreds of phone calls. I get a lot of the, it's an energy portal. It's where the planets are lined up. It's, yeah, I'll do a video separate. So, you know, you're going to be doing that energy work in the next 2 months. Gosh, you guys are interesting sometimes. So then we've got Venus retrograde. And although it sounds bad, because when you look at Venus retrograde, it sort of is like you get into it and you're like, oh, you're so wonderful. I love you so much. And then it's like, yeah, I don't know, the novelty's wearing off. And then it's like, get the fuck away from me. Okay. The strange thing is, I think this is beneficial because, again, Uh, it is what it is. We can't put our lives on hold. If it's necessary, it's necessary. Just deal with the aspects, white light yourself, and keep going. You can't not. You can't not keep going. Life moves on. You know, these hurdles come. You just have to, you know, keep moving with it and deal with it as it comes. But don't kind of tune into it like I don't have power. Just make sure you check your paperwork, keep your paperwork with you so that if there's any miscommunications, it can be dealt with after. There's nothing you can do. If you have to, you have to. It's divinely guided. If you're meant to, you're meant to. So, and if it's going to affect you, it will be due to your path moving too fast or you being going down the wrong direction. It won't be directly, hey, you bought a car, it's retrograde, so we're going to fuck you up. It's not like that. It's more to slow you down, stop you, make you look on something. So don't give the power to the planets. Take the planets as a challenge. Because like when we're in that ego of it, again, that's in the matrix, right? Because we're in the matrix, then we're like, the planets are retrograde, so we can't do anything. Take it as a challenge. Be rocky. Get up there and do what you can do. If it means that you've just got to go, I am pissed off, you know, this is really shitting me, it's frustrating me. Fair point. I'm with you. I'm with you. Write some notes down. I take a note out of my own book and I do this myself. When I get off here, I've got videos to record. By mid-month, I want to get the videos done for the twin flames per element. But to upload them, I can tell you, is an arduous process to the website. So I'll have the second stage of them up on the website, up for sale, where I can tune into it. Yeah, so it's like you make a list and you go, okay, this is really overwhelming. I've got a lot going on right now. I need to break it down. So break it down of what you think you can deal with in your life at the moment. What you think you can do after retrograde, plan, manifest, meditate. What would you like to do? How would it feel? You know, when you're manifesting, you're using your sexual energy, okay, within your body. That energy core just below the navel, the lotus flower, so to speak, those breathing exercises, it is like Tesla's equation. It is similar. It's manifesting. We're using our core energy. If you've got a block, you're not believing in yourself. So that manifestation is going to be super shitty. It'll be like trying to turn the TV on and all you see is static. Okay? So you need to get to a point where you take a breath and you go, right, this is me here. Now, what can I do and what do I want? Not what the blocks are. Leave that separately. What do you want? Do your breathing exercises, and then you need to creatively picture it in the here and now like you own it. You know, so you're physically morphing it, and it's like you're doing a 3D imagery of it in your third eye, and then you're releasing it to universe. Stress attracts more, and it's not you can't stress, but also in a twin flame journey, Stefan, stop worrying that everything's turned shit. Stop doing that. Because the energies of what we learn through it are shitty, okay? The hurt we get is real, but not. It's 3D, it's not spiritual. So at some point you'll even purge that and you'll still feel the spiritual connection. That's the connection within the twin flame journey. No matter what you do. Hi, Carmen. Yeah, I will be free after. Carmen's got some heaps to do. I've been tuning into it. It's like, no, I don't want to know. That's her business. But I knew you were going to ask me anyway, so she's got lots of gossip. I already know. She has a few admirers. I know. Probably 3. If you're if your twin flame isn't here but on the other side, are you still on a twin flame journey? Yes. Yes. Because, I mean, I did a video earlier, and I'll probably open it up again because, hey, it's relevant. The video I did on the intro was about the fact that you're always a twin, right? And many of you who have had, and I'm just going to be blunt now, right? And that's not to trigger anyone, so please don't take offense. It's just from a very reality-based kind of situation. You are the twin, okay? You're the twin. So on a theoretical level, your energy is always twin, right? Now, with the equation where you see the 1, 1, 1, 1, it's two people. Look at it this way. 1, 1, 1, 1. It's two people being very disconnected from self, right? When you do the core work, what comes in is it's 2, 2, 2, 2. You're coming from your feminine, masculine energy inside yourself. Now, if your twin passes over, several things can happen. You are divinely guided where you take that up in the journey, okay? I'll get to these in a minute. So your twin, if they've passed over, that was part of your road of what was going to happen, and a soulmate is going to come in. However, you could theoretically, if your twin felt that it was energetically necessary, they could be a walk-in where they come back again. You know, where a person, and then their energies will be very similar to twin, if that's divinely guided. And so, what was the other thing? But yes, so your energy to come to that place where you're going through those motions of the learning, what you need to do. Yes, it is, because we're releasing things, but we're intuitively knowing. Look, sometimes you're going to be picking up the energy of your counterpart, and you know, I feel for a lot of the I can't even say masculines, because some feminines are running, so we'll deem it as the initial runner. So there, am I cutting out? I'll try and come around here. Yeah, they're going through a stage where they're doing a transformation. They're undergoing a transformation. Many of them are, you know, doing work. Is it better now? Cool. Okay. Now I've got to remember what it was said, and I'll come down to that. I can't even remember what I was saying. If twin doesn't know, is a twin to choose to acknowledge it? Where do you stand? You don't need to. Look, too many of us are putting tags on it. Okay, the reality of a twin is you don't know why you keep coming back to them, okay? It is it's a nuts journey. It can look like you've got an addiction to the human being. And it's sort of, you could put it in 2 brackets, right? So the chaser is codependent. The masculine is, at times, can look unreliable and non-codependent, and what would the other word be? Non-committal. But initial, it's like there's that connection. It's a strange connection. So you could get, it is a love-hate, and it's not, I can't even say hate, okay, it's messed up. You look like you are on, I mean, I shouldn't even say this, meth. You're just like, their love is your drug. It's like, it's crazy. And anyone else is going, you need help. Like, it's never going to happen. They're never going to come back again. You're never going to hear from them again. And you're like, just this deep knowing. Like, no, I will. See, that energy is super beneficial to you, because you should be applying that energy to your life. Okay? If you have that deep knowing of that factor, Where did that go? And why don't you apply that to every area in your life? Because that deep knowing is almost like they helped you walk the Great Wall of China. They helped you get fit, get hot. They helped you create businesses. They helped you fight those demons. You know, use them as your muse. Okay? They're fantastic. They're a great asset. So just turn the energy around. Turn the energy around and reapply it. I mean, this year is going to be a bumpy ride, and it is going to feel like, am I even getting anywhere? Now, twin aside, retrograde is heavy. Yeah. Oh, well, look, this journey can make you go loco. It's like, because you can be upset, and then you're sitting here going, here we go again. Here we go again. I mean, my friend told my twin that we should get a house with a hill, so every time he gets chicken, he can just roll down it and climb back up it again. And that was very relevant. I mean, it's very relevant. I mean, but now I'm thinking, you know, I was like, well, do I need that now? Because feminines and masculines and any, you know, we'll have that back and forward. So when we're getting down to the tag of twin, masculine, feminine, it's a tag. I mean, it's like saying, you're my husband, no, you're my wife, or I own you. No. We can be married. The one thing that kills relationships is control. I hate it. I mean, as I've evolved, I could never have another relationship like that would be like that to me. It would be like, I'm sorry, you can't do that to me. I'm a big girl. I shower myself. I feed myself. I worry for myself. I hug myself. It's like it's again, the person would need to match that frequency if they weren't twin. Because you do know who your twin is, you do know what your twin gives you, and unless they could match that frequency, and I'm not talking the toxic shit, I mean, hey, quite frankly, do we want that? But no, it has helped us grow. Unless they could match that, even if you did have a soulmate connection, they'd have to match you, and if they didn't, you would probably accidentally really trigger them to the point where they had to spiritually grow too, or the relationship would come crashing down. Because when I say you're a twin forever, you're a twin forever. That is growing into a person who is non-codependent. You know, you don't care about people's opinion of you. You will get to a point where you'll look at them as unevolved. And it's not a judgment. It's, you just couldn't fit that anymore because you were in that filing cabinet for so long yourself that you can directly relate to what they're feeling. So you just couldn't go back to that anymore. You couldn't go back to the old paradigms of being, where are you going? What are you doing? When are you coming home? What's for dinner? Are you going to do that for me? Give. It's 50-50. And I think collectively, twin aside, we are changing that way. It's like, okay, you know where it is. You have, and that's feminine or masculine. Look, life is hard enough as it is. Do we really want our husband or our wife or our twin to be our babysitter? Distance doesn't matter, Stefan. You know the truth. You know, if that person is doing something, let it go. They know who you are, but it will be something in you that you don't believe they'll choose you. If you love them, you know, it'll get to a simple point of, my twin was in a relationship and I was partnered. And I mean, we hadn't been intimate. I unconditionally loved him then, but these learnings come through the whole journey, okay? My twin's in a karmic relationship. I don't care. I hope he's happy. I mean, I don't think personally from my experience he will be, because she's not the twin, but that's for him to decide. That's why it doesn't worry me, because I know our spiritual connection, but as long as he's happy, I'm so very happy for him. I just think he's shortchanging himself, but because twins really shove each other to grow up. And, you know, he's really, and I'm very grateful. He's really made me grow up. So I'm doing my thing. I'm happy growing up. I'm moving forward, drinking protein shake out of a Turkish coffee container. I mean, I've got Giggle and I've got you guys, but I mean, the private people I talk to separately, you know, the more that people come through to me in a client basis, and it's not just for twin stuff, okay? I mean, I'm psychic. I tune into collective energy. The people I talk to, like Sarah, we talked the other day, didn't we? That was a surprise. She was like, oh. Yeah. But we've, you know, it's helping us. So what do you want to do, Stefan? Oh, well, look, you guys should feel more sorry for me, okay? Because if your temperature's hot and you're going, oh my God, it's so hot over there, imagine purging in winter. Come on, people in England know this. It's depressing when it's cold. I mean, I've been moving through the matrix with my oars, trying to go down the stream of where they're taking me, and it's cold, okay? It's horrible. You try and purge when it's cold, you're like... Yeah. See? Steph knows. Purging and depressive grey weather, like, you know, when it's hot, you can let that steam off, right? When it's cold, you're like, I can't even go outside to go for a walk and let some steam off. I mean, I was walking in the rain the other day and people are looking at me like, do you want me to pick you up and take you home? And I'm like, no, I'm purging. Trust me, it is worse when it's cold. It is like, do you know, mental health and cold weather is directly linked. You're lucky I'm up here. It is cold. But I'm grateful. Yeah, seasonal depression. There you go. Is this past tense, Stefan? Are we talking past tense or, you know, recently? You're too grounded to purge, Sulla. Although that was coming through that, the video. Oh my God, advice. Write your journey since you met your name. 2015. You need to deal with that energy. Because unfortunately, you're alive now. And we're moving on up. Well, it is fortunately. You're moving to Perth. Cool. You're purging duality. What, the other side of yourself or in general? I thought you were purging numbers the other day, Sulla. I don't know. It's actually, yeah. Well, this summer here, Steph, was actually cooler. Well, yeah. Yeah. Say hello to them. Be good. You hired lawyers on speed dial. That's interesting. Is it to do with a family-related dynamic, Sulla? Because that was what was coming through. Okay, so also on the Richter scale of retrograde, on the scale of retrograde, what you will find is, because we're agitated, it increases the sexual energy in that chakra zone. And people are like, ooh, it does. So, you know, the solar plexus chakra, I believe. Pretty sure it is. I've got vague now. Yeah, so the breathing exercises from that chakra point, you're actually able to manifest, and to your third eye is more active during that time if you can do the breathing. Yes, so it can be you're picking up your counterpart's energy, but in general, yes, it is quite. And it's like, apply it to something, become creative. I live in the US and have crows around my house. The crows here sound a little different. Yes, they do. They sound like gargoyles, I think, personally. Yes, sacral chakra. Good old sexual energy for creativity. Oh, we've got magpies. We've got parrots up here as well. Cockatoos. Yeah, well, we do have the expansion planet happening, so that is going to be a bit harder for us to actually decrease. But those of you who are putting that into mission mode, yes. Yeah, Laura Cates, you will have... Strange, I haven't even thought about sex. It's not thinking about it. It's the agitation energy is actually it's the sexual energy. It's not you thinking, oh, I want to go out, and it's the energy in that chakra. It's activated. And if it's not, you need to get yours aligned so that you can directly apply it to your life and have forward motion in your career, your money, and all the rest of it. So you can breathe the energy into that area and hold it there and bring it up so that you can remove that blockage. No, I'll like it better. Oh, when I was out bush, yes, there were sheep. Okay, you want a bit of trivia? I can milk sheep, cows, and goats. There you go. That's a random thing you didn't know about Yildiz. Cool. Yes, it can be, but it can be ascension symptoms too when there's aches in that location. Cool. Yeah, I was in a third world country farm. Hole in the floor, wash out of a bucket with water. Summer, couldn't even be bothered to heat the water, so you just use a cup. I've been in New Zealand, Australia. I lived in Adelaide for a while, which the wine country was gorgeous, but the amount of pokies was driving me nuts. And I like churches, but there were just too many. It was like just lots of churches. I've been to Melbourne. I've been to, oh, where else? I've been down south towards Albany and Pemberton. Pemberton, beautiful location to travel. Very, very forest-like. Singapore, London, Cyprus, Turkey. Yeah, I'm a Kiwi. I was born there. But I've been in Australia a percentage of my life. I can't say my whole life because I've lived in Europe. Yeah, I love Pemberton. So by the time we get to September, October, it's going to hit a bumpy ride on the romantic front. So those of us who are undecided about what we're doing, who we're with, how we feel about it, it's going to give us the clarity. Okay? Well, between the English accent that comes through at times, I mean, when I was over there, you couldn't tell I was a Kiwi because it took over. It's quite quick, you pick up the Cockney accent. So I got a mishmash. Yeah. Are you nervous? Yes, that's what my name means, star. Apparently. My dad called me after the Turkish flag. I was like, so romantic. I love you, Dad. My sister's name's Aisha, and my name is Yıldız, and it is the two emblems on the Turkish flag. So we got called after a flag. My sister's means moon, mine means star. Nervous energy. Yes, there has been, but again, I don't feel it's yours. I feel it's... Shall we pull some cards? But the clarity will come through the process of the journey, as well as any 3D situations that you're... I already live 2 blocks away. I did move for twin. I didn't. It was like, I have belief in the journey. Kalamunda, I moved from there. Most of my clients when I was doing caring on the road was near Kalamunda. It's beautiful. I love the coffee strip. I used to do community work in that area as well, and I'd take them out. It was like I had grandmas and grandpas. It was lovely. It's very pretty. Yes, but I only live a few blocks away, even though energetically I feel they don't live there anymore. But yeah, I'm still here. I'm not running. Doesn't bother me. I've got my pool. I've got Carmen next door. And when you guys are all feeling down because it's going to be winter, I'm going to be, woo-woo, summer. I'll do a reading from the pool. Look, you can lead a horse to water, you can't make it drink, Steph. You know, if he's happy doing what he's doing, you know, I've got my house, I'm happy. Yeah, I'll be having the pina colada with Antonella. We'll be sitting around the pool. And we'll be live streaming to you from Australia down under, drinking pina coladas, doing twin flame videos. When we say we're going to drop everything, it's dropping us. So keep putting the energy back to self. When you have a moment, get your aha and go, oh, am I quitting on me? Am I not believing in me? Because the question comes down to it. Do you believe you're worth it? Because when you know your energy and your deep spiritual connection... Bye, Derry. Sweet dreams, princess. Then you just let it get to a point where it all flows correctly, and they're where they need to be spiritually, because the duality comes to you, the 1-1-1-1. That's what I was saying before, and that's in any person. It's not your duality in yourself is to come into connection with yourself. So coming home to yourself. If you can do the work in your life, you're no longer 1-1. You're a whole. Yeah, so just don't, nothing can, look, on a 3D nature, things happen and they're horrible. It can be abandonment related issues that come up. It can be cheating. It can be giving birth to children on either sides. It can be people getting married. It's a hard journey. But when you're focusing on yourself and you realize that anyone that comes to you, you know, needs to, discover situations, and people that come into your life are meant to be there. But very much this year, it is a choice. It's a choice for many of the initial chasers, and really the masculine. So it's both sides, really. You know, what are you going to do? Are you going to buy into your demons, or are you going to challenge them? And are you going to do the work so that you can get to a point where you can have your assessment by the end of the year? And that's really where I feel it's heading, is we are going through a deep transformation as well as an aha moment, and going, okay, what are we going to choose? Because it is a choice. Yes. Yes, well, I did have a premonition years ago, and it was an elephant and a tiger fighting, but that might have been continents. We are. Well, our shadow self is the devil, theoretically, if you want to look at it in layman's terms. It's the ego of telling us what we can and can't cope with, what we can and can't do, what we can and can't achieve. And that purging can be like hard work. Good night, Sarah. Any other questions before I go? Because I'm sure you guys are super tired being on the other side of the world. Otherwise, go ahead into the website, because I have reduced it and it's only out for 3 days. It is discounted even more so than the first bookings, where people can just jump online and as a introductory offer, there is the lower discounted price for the first time clients. But this one is up for anyone that wants to buy it. It's a Skype booking only, and it is for 1 hour, and it is reduced. So it will be there on the website for 3 days. After that, it's being dropped down, and it'll go back to the normal price. So if you're wanting a booking, even if you want to forward date it to next month, you can pick any month. Grab it now while it's on special, because it's only going to be up for 3 days. It is in Australian dollars, but there's the converter on the actual channel. If you want to transfer it into, you know, US dollars, the converter's there. So go and grab it, because I know some of you are affected financially, and yeah, yes, I can milk sheep. I do it very well, actually. I can make cheese too. Cheese, jam, cordial, bread. I can even pluck a chicken, even though I'm a vegan. That was back in the day. I had no choice. I was a farm girl. I can even change the spark plugs and the oil on my car, but I prefer a man to do it. We can't say we don't need. It would be nice. I would prefer a masculine energy to help me. But yes, we can. Oh, yeah. I do like rabbit stew, though. Yeah, I've done that. Plucking and gutting. I always used to get the gutting. It was disgusting. You get itchy. But on the upside, most of us don't even know how to look after ourselves. And that's another thing. I may do some videos on, like, Aboriginal medicine and food and what we can eat from the bush, and just things where we can be mindful about how we can take the pressure off the shops and become more self-reliant, because I think that would help really with us becoming a bit more geared towards looking after ourselves than having that expectation that perhaps the shops will have everything. I mean, that's ultimately been my dream, is having a home that is completely eco-friendly, and I'm just fully dependent on that. Yep. 1111. Come into duality, because at the moment you're balancing your masculine and feminine energy. That's what it means. It means you are, but you're still working on that balance. Don't smoke. I'm not an excuse. I might be a trigger, but I'm not an excuse. You know better than that. I used to take 3-wheelers out in the cow paddock. Well, I had a very interesting story. We used to have cows and bulls, and we had one, and it was crazy. I'm talking, this one was crazy. And they usually, when we got them, they would usually have, this rope was wrapped around the head, you know, around the antelope heads, whatever you call them. And it decided it was going to get out. It broke off this rope. We had just got it, and it was a real crazy bull. And it's ripped through the paddock, and my auntie's screaming. And my kid's sister would have been about 3. She's running. She's jumped the fence, and she's climbed over. And I've had to corner this bull, and I'm gone, shit. Like, it could kill you. The reality is it can kill you. And the first thing I thought was, fingers in the nose. And I grabbed up in its nose, and I pulled it down, and I had to wait for my auntie to come and grab it. So, but short of that, that's the only way you can actually tame the beast. So I had to do that to calm it down, so we could get the rope and take it back to its quarters. But yeah, guts of steel, divine feminines. Yeah. Yes, you do. It's very sensitive. The nerve endings in their nose are very sensitive. That's why you do see the bulls with the actual clip in there. I do prefer, you know, just let them go in their section, but it had got out and it was becoming dangerous for the animal. Yeah, would if they turned up and they were all like, I'm ready to go and everything's sweet, you'd be like, really? Like, what, now? Like, you good? What? When are we going to go on a holiday, Giggle? Yeah, well, that's the thing, you know, in that energy, in a moment of emergency, you'll be surprised what you can cope with. You just don't think. Yes, it would be different, wouldn't it? That's what I'm saying. At the moment, it's because we're like, that'll never happen. Deep down we know, but we keep fighting that conflict inside. Let's go, Giggle. I'm telling you, if this journey is going to take a while, I'd be coming for a holiday to America. Going to go to Texas. There's plenty of people I know in Texas. Got to see Jen and Luciana. Yeah, well, Hawaii actually has a volcano that is erupting, and there is a cyclone brewing in that area. They say that when you have a lunar eclipse, the activity volcanically and earthquake-wise increases. Now, for a while there, it was looking very quiet with the things that I've actually started looking at. Now, on top of the compilement of fires in Europe, lots of fires, plus the geostorm that's coming, it's like a cyclone, or was it deemed as a cyclone? Tornado. They also have a volcano brewing in Hawaii. Now, scientists have said that if the actual cyclone / tornado hit the area where the volcano was, it would turn to a geostorm. And on top of that, you've got all the red smoke from all the fires that are in the atmosphere blowing through. So there's definitely a shift. But on the upside, a lot of the yes, well, I did say that. It's like, come on, you went to Bali. It's like, we're in a retrograde and, you know. But what Baba, that, oh, who was she? She was a psychic, and, you know, most of her predictions reach past 2048. So theoretically, we should be okay. I mean, I do feel it's an energetic shift. I also do look at it and I think we do underestimate the environment and the climate. That's her. So when you look at it, what we're so used to when there's an issue, we recreate an issue, unfortunately, us humans. You know, we're like, oh, we've got this pest, so we're going to introduce this other one and it's going to balance it out. And then there's another problem. So sometimes, even at the very natural aspect of things happening, maybe it is divinely guided, and we're tampering too much, even with the way in which universe is trying to rebalance itself, and we're thinking, oh, we know better. Maybe we need to let this flow and trust in the equation of the universe. The universe knows best. Yes, obviously, be more aware and do things that are better and healthier for the planet and for ourselves. And also, you know, even when it comes down to the water, filter your water. Yeah, if we can save ourselves and become more aware and deal with the environment, I think it'll flow. But a lot of it is energetically our ascension, you know, the planets of what's going on. And look, if an asteroid's going to hit us and it's going to be all over tomorrow, some of that maybe we don't have control over. So why don't we just focus on what we can control, you know, not get triggered by it. If the adversity comes, we deal with that and we move forward from there. That's all you can do. Yeah, but there have been a lot of asteroids coming in, and it is gearing up an asteroid season through August through September. One of the things that I did share on my Facebook page was an article I come across, and it was about a large one that they have been aware of that's been floating through, coming towards Earth. And you know, look, you've really got to be careful about what you do and what you don't take from certain videos, especially when they're reporting it. But then it really depends on, you know, how much the government would tell us if doomsday was coming. But there has been a very large meteorite that they've been watching, and that is coming this month, around the 5th. However, in this article I listened to, they were talking about the fact that they had sent a missile towards it, and it's broken it up in a few pieces, but that there is still going to be the shrapnel, you know, of it coming through. And that is probably around September 23rd to 26th. Yeah. But there has been, I mean, in Perth, we had an area light up and the sky went blue. Out bush, there was one that come through. There's been another one near the military base, I think in either, or one near Russia. So it is asteroid season. But where the planets are, it's almost like space junk comes through. So the funny thing is, when you look at the planets where they are, it's like with that movement, all the planets are on the opposite side of the moon. So with that flow, yes, we're going to get it. Like, we're going to get the junk. So if it's to be, it's to be. I mean, we can just be mindful and look at the adversity we've dealt with this year, and if that happens, help each other. Surely is, Mary. But we need to deal with it, and it can be beautiful too. I mean, I've got an overflowing pool. I'm grateful. I just wouldn't get in there right now, a bit cold. Yeah. Okay, now like I said, if you are wanting a booking, it is discounted. Jump on, grab a booking. It's only there for 3 days. It has been heavily reduced. It's even cheaper than the initial booking for the first time people to come in. Otherwise, if you like the video, like, comment after. Otherwise, these don't get shared. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Yes, I will do that.